way again, okay? Just to see if it works. Good morning, everybody from Honolulu. My name is Jürgen Steinmetz. We're getting ready with our live stream session on honoring our heroes and World Tourism Day. For those of you watching us on eTurbo News, stay tuned. We're going to start in about 5 minutes, and we're going to let you watch the animation again in a minute here. Let me just see if this works. Okay, we have Professor Nissana in Serbia. The live stream seems to be delayed. Should eventually come up. Okay, there we go. I'm going to put it up on a different screen. Okay, everyone is so quiet, so I don't know if the system works. I see you.
No, we hear you. We're letting you work. I can't disturb you.
No. Okay. Well, we're getting a lot of people already watching us. So anyone watching us on eTurbo News, we're going to start in about 3-4 minutes with our live stream event on honoring our heroes in tourism. So stay tuned. It's going to be exciting. Okay, I hope it works. Hi, Professor Nissana. How was your vacation?
It was okay. Very sunny and a lovely temperature.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Okay, we have Dove. We got a few people coming in here.
Good morning.
Hey.
Hello. Hi,
Good
everybody.
afternoon.
Afternoon, good evening.
We have different regions, evening, good morning, good afternoon. Depending on where you are. Yeah.
Okay, so let me go to my cell phone to make sure this works. Okay, we're just about ready to go. The problem is for me to test the sound because no one is talking, so I don't know if the sound is working.
Oh, the sound is good, Jürgen. We
No,
can
no,
hear
it's
you.
not this sound. It's a sound on Itober News I'm concerned about. This one is good, yes.
We hear you perfectly, Jürgen.
Hi, Dov.
Hi. Hello. How are you doing?
Good, my friend, good.
Really?
How's Israel?
Israel is fine. Israel is also a bit in sorrow because of your personal sorrows.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Okay, I don't think the sound is working correctly. We have a lot of people on Itober, so I hate to lose these guys. So Dima, why don't we let people in? I'm going to work on the sound.
Yeah, make me a
here.
co-host. Make me a co-host.
Dimitro, how are you doing?
Good, and you though?
Wonderful, wonderful. Haven't seen you for a long time.
Yeah, a long time. Me too.
Dima, I don't see you here.
Dmitro Makarov.
Oh, here. Okay, I got you. Okay, I got you. The co-host. Okay. Okay, you're not co-host, so you can take over. But let me figure out what happened to the
I'm
sound.
not yet, Jürgen. I'm sorry, but I'm
Yes,
not.
you are. It's probably going to kick in.
Doesn't show me. I don't know.
You put Diana as co-host.
It doesn't show me, Jürgen.
Okay, what about now?
Yeah, now I see. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe you can let people in, and I'm going to keep
Okay.
working on the sound here.
Okay.
There is, for some reason, we don't have a sound on the system. I don't know why. Everything seems to be working great.
What do you mean we hear you perfectly well? What is the problem?
No, no, not you. You hear me well, yes, but people on Itober News don't hear us. I know you hear me well.
Hello, Jörg.
Good morning. We're still trying to get the system ready. Give me 1 second.
Talk.
Okay, it works. And you know, okay, thank you. Actually, Walter is my savior. I heard his sound. Because no one was really speaking. Thank you very much, everybody. We're getting ready now. Since we have, so I'm going to turn the sound off now on my end, so we don't hear echoes here. So. All right, okay, so now we can actually start. So sorry for this chaos. I have to say I'm quite amazed. It looks like we're getting a lot of people joining in on our outside network. So anyone who's watching us now on Itober News and wants to be part of this audience, you can actually still do this. Just go to worldtourismevents.com and you find today's event listed under honoring our heroes for world tourism. So if you wanted to be part of it, just sign up. And then you can actually also be part of this audience and ask questions and so forth. But without further ado, I think we are ready. And so let me have like 5 seconds and then we can officially start and add also the rest of the social media to our system. I'm going to mute everyone too right now. Wow, ready to go. Aloha, I can say from here, and good afternoon for many of you. Good morning here in Hawaii, and good late evening And I see Mary from Guam. Good early morning. And we're really glad to have you here. My name is Jürgen Steinmetz, and I'm joining you from World Tourism Network. With us today, we have this broadcasted live on the entire eTurbo News network and our partners. And I see actually we have really a record number of people coming in from outside. And that's probably because we had 2 or 3 really good days at eTurbo News with an article we did on the Department of Health announcement for the 3rd fiber shop. So we got a lot of new people who don't know us. So I'm going to explain just a little bit for you. The World Tourism Network is a global initiative started in March of 2020 when Corona broke out, and it started in Berlin, Germany, on the sideline of a large travel trade show called ITB. The trade show was canceled, but we started the discussion on global tourism, initially organized together with PATA, the Nepal Tourism Board, and African Tourism Board. And with us actually from the very first moment was Dov Kalman, who I wanted to give a special welcome. He's joining us this morning from Israel. He was in Berlin when we started, and so was Dmitry Makarov. And this discussion then has been going on since till December of last year, and we converted the rebuilding.travel discussion into an organization, the World Tourism Network. And many of you here on this forum have been with us from the very beginning. I see many of our ambassadors and chairpersons from various organizations. I see Alexandra, who started our first chapter or initiative for the Balkan region, Montenegro. She's now actually in charge and the top person in the tourism world in Montenegro. So we're excited to have her with us right from the very first beginning. We have Walter Memzabi. He was the former foreign minister in Zimbabwe and one of the longest serving tourism ministers in Africa. He was with us from the beginning. So was Deepak Joshi. He was the CEO of the Nepal Tourism Board at the time, and he's joining us from Nepal. And there are many of you, and of course, Alain Saint-Ange. Alain was the Minister of Tourism for the Republic of the Seychelles. He's joining us from beautiful Victoria this morning, probably looking at the smallest Big Ben clock tower in the world, and wonderful place. He's also the guy who started the carnival, the Carnival of Victoria in the Seychelles, what was a huge success, and carnivals from all over the world participated. Then, of course, we have Diana here from Jamaica. She's one of our heroes and in charge of community tourism in Jamaica. We have Claudiana Goshia in Albania. So on and on and on and on. I don't want to leave anyone else. We have Nancy Bakerly. I see her photo. Good morning. She's in charge of our wedding and honeymoon chapter based, I think, on the East Coast in Washington or Philadelphia, someplace far away from Hawaii. And then last not least, I'm wanted to say a special hello to also Maricar Donato. She's one of our heroes and also the co-organizer of this event. And Maricar is going to say a few words. She is in Washington, D.C., and she is running an international organization for tour guides. And thanks to Maricar, we had tour guides on this forum from all over the world over the year, working together on travel and tourism. And it's really a privilege working with her. We didn't know each other before this all started, and we got together because Maricar helped out a good friend, the former Minister of Tourism from Cameroon, who got stranded in the United States and was shipped between the US and Germany, not let in Frankfurt to connect to a flight to Cameroon in Paris. It was a disaster. And Maricar and her team took care of her. And so she's now back in Cameroon. And so we have some interesting history here, but Maricar, the floor is yours to start, and then we can go and maybe introduce some of our heroes. I see also Demi came in from Senegal. Bonjour, but Maricar, the floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you, Jürgen, and greetings to all. Happy World Tourism Day 2021. How can I forget a year ago in September, exactly this time, that WTN had organized this Tourism Heroes. And I was one of a very privileged recipient of this award. So it really brings back memories. And when I asked Jürgen, how are we going to celebrate a year after, he said, well, why don't we do a broadcast? So I said, let's do this. So again, it's really a pleasure. It's been a year. Well, the pandemic has been with us for 18 months. I'm a tourist guide, and to all my tourist guide team who are on the call right now, really thank you for being with us. We have survived another year of the pandemic. It's been devastating, as we all know, but we are, we still find that light amidst the darkness. And that is what I really want to communicate, that there is that light that's waiting for us, no matter how difficult our lives have been. But I think to open our discussion and conversations, maybe we would like each one to, come to the floor, unmute yourself, and really tell us, how has it been? How has the year been for you? Perhaps Walter, would you like to open and just say a few words? Walter, tell us where you're from, and then what you do, and then maybe just a message for World Tourism Day.
Oh, Walter, you're muted.
Thank you very much. First and foremost, let me appreciate the excellent organization of this platform, as usual, by Jürgen Steinmetz. Would like to applaud you for continuing this global networking of not just the heroes, but the industry itself. And Maricar, thank you very much for asking me to open the floor. I have very little to say, except to say that we are being called upon to defend our legacy. And I'm talking about people that worked in the decade leading up to 2017, 2018. And I see Alan St. Ange, I see Jürgen himself, yourself, Maricar, and many others. We established a legacy of openness in the tourism sector, a legacy of openness, a legacy of destination accessibility and connectivity, and everything that we did up to the decade 2017, 2018, when most of us left executive deployments from our governments, was premised on opening up destinations. And there was no formula for the growth of this sector except that you simply had to connect destinations, you had to open them up and receive tourists, and then obviously from their spend, you compute your earnings. Regrettably, because of COVID and the way governments have responded to it, it has ushered in a new phase of unilateralism. In fact, multilateralism has been destroyed completely because countries have responded as individual entities to this scourge of corona. And we see that the vaccination profiles are also taking the same thrust. Countries basically doing their own thing, trying to achieve herd immunity for their own destinations in isolation to perhaps what may even be happening in regions and in the globe at large. Now, here is a test case to our legacy. Alan, for example, you were with us. How do you deal with sanctions, travel sanctions, that are being imposed by key source markets on destinations like Africa, India, Eurasia, parts of the Caribbean, on the back of how they profile vaccinations that are taking place in their own countries and that are also taking place from in other destinations. So, for example, what has recently happened in the UK, where even some of us who have been vaccinated with Pfizer the Pfizer vaccine that I received here in Africa is deemed not to be acceptable or an equivalent of the Pfizer that is inoculated or vaccinated a Briton 10,000 miles away. And the government, in its wisdom, basically says you are not welcome. If you come, we are going to quarantine you for 2 weeks in prescribed hotels where you pay upwards of £2,000 before we can let you mix with the public. So we are back to something that we thought we had defeated during our time. And it is the issue of travel advisories. But these are even tougher than just mere travel advisories. These are now travel sanctions. And it is gonna affect tourism in a very big way. It is not going to be easy for tourism to come back on the back of this lack of understanding by governments on what makes tourism tick. It doesn't tick on the back of anything except opening up destinations and receiving visitors and facilitating them to spend their money in destinations. But if leader nations like the UK are unable to understand the impact of these actions, unilateral actions, on the economies of other nations, and if they don't understand also that reciprocity, which we also fought against during our time, we said, no one should slap a retaliatory action on a country that takes a move on another country before they've thoroughly weighed the options. So we find ourselves in this helpless situation, and I see when I read newspapers, countries outdoing each other to see if they are acceptable to the British travel policy. And they are doing that in isolation, forgetting that we are treated as package destinations where we are. So it doesn't matter whether Zimbabwe says, for example, we are not on the red list, while South Africa is on the red list, because it doesn't cure anything, because Zimbabwe, South Africa, Mozambique, Botswana, they are consumed as one product in a package that is sold to source markets. And unfortunately, there's no coherency in the way these governments are also responding to these travel sanctions. Everyone is almost like popcorn, everyone doing their own thing. So I thought I should just set the agenda and say we have been set back 20 years in the travel industry, and it's time for heroes that are on this platform today to rise up to the occasion. And because we are not competing unnecessarily, we are seasoned practitioners, we can get together as heroes and make a plea that is understood at the highest level globally on the impact of these unilateral actions and sanctions on travel. I thank you.
No, Walter, fantastic observation, and you're so right. I mean, this world isn't built equal. When I see in our own country here in the United States, we've got plenty of Pfizer and Moderna vaccine, and many people don't want to take it, while people in your part of the world are struggling to get access to it, and the travel industry has to continue. I mean, we cannot be locked down for the next 15 years. So we have to find and go to step 2. I fully agree with you. If this is okay, Maricar, I wanted to just maybe get some of our heroes in that are in time zones where they are really struggling, maybe to stay away. And if that's okay, I got Deepak on the screen, and Deepak is in Nepal, and I know it's really early or really late, you can tell us, in Nepal. And Deepak was the former CEO of the Nepal Tourism Board, and he is now involved in a lot of initiatives. I attended some of the initiatives in Nepal. We just had a session actually with our friend Pankaj in Nepal on accessible tourism. And Deepak is all over the place. He's a real shaker and mover, and he's one of our heroes. Welcome, Deepak.
Thank you very much, Jürgen. So nice to see all the familiar faces: Marcia, Alan, Walter, Dob, Alexandra, Peter, Rifai. Thank you very much. Basically, I didn't have much thing to say today. But slowly, I don't know why in our parts of the world, most of the people, they are feeling a kind of very much hopeful and feeling happy about the reopening of global tourism. Slowly, most of the destinations, they are reopening their tourism as the vaccinated rate is growing. Many destinations are restarting tourism business operations. Visitors are inquiring their preferred destinations of their choices in our country also. Most of the tour operators, they are getting very encouraging inquiries from their contact list. Every crisis has a limited life and a limit. So exactly, it is a midnight in Nepal. But I think most of us, we have already observed that it cannot be darker after midnight. So probably this is the highest point of this pandemic. So brighter days are coming up, rising up. So we are quite hopeful in that line. One thing I have observed about WTN is I feel privileged to be associated with World Tourism Network, because I find this network, this organization, probably the most active global tourism platform who was quite active in this challenging time last 1.5 years, who helped to spread positive messages, who helped to connect the most of the new and active and the world players in our tourism industry, who created a platform to share the useful insights, giving guidance to be aware, the reopening tourism, and encouraging the tourism industry to remain resilient. So kudos to you, Jorgen, to keep us, the active and engaging, and all the players like Alan, Dove. So many players there are. Thank you very much for all your time that you share for the industry. Basically, this year's World Tourism Network has given a theme in the name of inclusive growth. Inclusive growth is possible only when wider and inclusive partnership is assured. So this is the slogan of UNWTO, but exactly the World Tourism Network is working in that theme, widening the tourism and bringing all the new players, basically SMEs, into the network and advising them. So this is exactly, I think we are working what the UNWTO has given the theme. So the theme is given by UNWTO and work is being done by WTN. So again, this is a very, very noticeable thing. Just to share about some points about how we are restarting our tourism in our part of Nepal, especially in Nepal. So I had proposed a few weeks ago about reopening tourism in a V2V model. Vaccinated guests receiving service from vaccinated hosts. So in this model, I had proposed 3 key points. The one is giving highest priority to the tourism frontliners for vaccination, and highest priority for the communities who live in and around the major iconic tourist destinations. Number 1 is this element and point. Number 2 is identifying safer travel corridor within the country or within the destination. For example, the areas where the fully frontliners are fully vaccinated, and the local communities in the destinations are also vaccinated. And number 3 is no quarantine or zero quarantine for the vaccinated travelers, and opening of the tourism from giving the service from the vaccinated host to the vaccinated guests. So this was a V2V model. If anybody interested to in this model, I can share this with you later on. So at last, special thanks to the World Tourism Network and the esteemed jury, eminent panel of juries who selected me also as a tourism hero. Recognition for people like us who are very, very passionate for tourism is another, the assignment to work more, to be more proactive. So it kept me quite active post this recognition also. So I believe better tourism makes better world. So I'm in this mission. Thank you very much, Jürgen and the esteemed team who keep us engaged for the better cause of tourism. Thank you very much. Here is our friend Bukhard also. Namaste to you from Nepal. Namaste to everybody. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Deepak. Maybe we can go. I put you on the spot here already, and just for those that don't, this came in late. The Heroes program is a recognition. We started with the World Tourism Network. Anyone can be nominated as a hero, but of course there has to be a very valid reason to become a hero. There's no charge, so it doesn't cost you anything. We're not going to hunt you down for marketing dollars or anything like this. It's truly free. And it's a true recognition of your position, what you've done to your local or the regional or to the national tourism industry or the international tourism industry to speak of. And I wanted to give a very special welcome actually to Mary Rhodes. Mary is joining us from our sister island. Sister Island is about 7 hours flight away from where I'm at in Hawaii, from the island of Guam. And those that don't know Guam, Guam is a US territory. It is where America starts its day every day. It's about an hour and a half flight, I think, from Manila, Philippines in the Pacific Ocean. It's just a beautiful place to visit and to go to. And Mary runs the Guam Hotel Association. They joined us as a member just recently. We haven't even put it on the website yet, but they are a full member, and welcome. And Mary is also one of our heroes. She was nominated and we celebrated her just about a week ago. You find it on our archive. If you go to her profile on Heroes, you can listen to the program. But I'm very humbled to see you. It's 4:26 in the morning in Guam, and that really shows commitment. Welcome, Mary Rhodes. And you said half a day, I think, in Guam.
Yes, half a day. Aloha, good morning, or hello to everybody, whichever time zone you're in. Yes, Guam is part of the United States. It's a territory. And it is much closer towards the Philippines, Japan, Korea. And so we are within like 3.5 hours of Japan, 4 hours to South Korea, and even parts of mainland China and Taiwan. So Guam is very unique in the fact that it is within the Pacific Ocean, 7 hours from Hawaii, and we primarily we are a US destination. So we do have, we only have a population of about 170,000 people, but almost 20,000 of that is actually US military. We do have 3 large bases here on Guam, and we've been expanding primarily because a lot of the military have been moving from Okinawa. So a good book of the business, especially right now during the pandemic, has primarily been military exercises, because if you can imagine with during the pandemic, the last 2 years, a lot of ports have been closed to the military. So Guam has really been considered a safe and secure destination, considering the fact that we are in the Pacific, but we are so close to the Indo-Pacific region for a lot of the military that are serving worldwide. And we've really been getting a lot of military from all over the world. We just received the British Strike Force here for about 2 weeks, and they were here earlier in June. We have a lot of military exercises in this region. And so really our large book of business is throughout the year is from military, but majority of our tourists actually come from throughout Asia. And so we get about 1.6 million tourists just from within Asia. That's Korea, Japan, Taiwan, even the Philippines, and the US. So we are a small island, but we consider ourselves where America's Day begins, but really the tip of the spear for a lot of the military within this region. And we have a long-standing relationship with the United States, but we have all the consular corps with a lot of nations around us where our key source markets come from. So we have that challenge. And I think one of the challenges really with regards to travel are the new rules that are going to be coming out with regards to travel and vaccines, and President Biden has made some recent announcements even with regards to vaccines with employment, with any employer over 100 must have the vaccine, as well as anyone with a federal contract. So imagine Guam being so heavily reliant on that type of business. It really affects a lot of our small business and our large businesses here on the island. So as part of the Guam Hotel and Restaurant Association, I've been the president for 15 years now, and we are members of the American Hotel Lodging Association, as well as the National Restaurant Association. And so we've really been helping a lot of the industry stakeholders just deal with all the pandemic issues, from pandemic workshops to plans to actually standing up different congregate settings for the military while they're here in port, but also those who are here for long stay. We've also had quarantine in the hotels. And so we've really served in a lot of different capacities throughout the pandemic. But this last probably 10 months, our primary focus has been really being the private sector arm for Homeland Security and Department of Public Health and Social Services in getting our community vaccinated. So we are close to 86% vaccinated here on Guam. We do have Moderna, Pfizer, as well as Johnson. And we actually started a vaccination vacation program to help expats come to the island who are US citizens, but then we also opened it up to foreign nationals who would be interested in coming here, because some of our key source markets were having a challenge getting their vaccines out to their to their citizens. So as we're starting to see Japan and Korea increase in their numbers, as well as now Taiwan, our vaccination program is starting to wean off, and it looks like a lot more people will start preparing to travel with vaccinations already in place within their home country. And so we've served in different roles, and I think that it's going to be interesting as we continue to move towards the next year. We have to continue to look for ways to advocate for the industry, and I'm really looking forward to networking with the World Tourism Network and all of their partners in just really learning best practices and having a sensitivity with what's happening around not just our region, but around the world, because there are a lot of things we can all learn from and also be wary of. But as well, we want to continue to advocate for the industry, but also lead with resiliency in mind, but with strategic leadership as well, because we have to really address some of the bigger issues that is not just COVID related, but really rebuilding our economies, especially economies of scale in smaller markets like Guam, where 60% of our GDP actually comes from tourism. Similar to Hawaii, we're very dependent on our tourism industry. And so we have to be able to balance the health of the community as well as the economy. And so I know Hawaii's been going through that recently of how much do they grow during this period, knowing they still have to protect their residents and their communities at large. So thank you very much for the recognition. I'm so grateful for this opportunity to speak and say hello to all of you, and I look forward to working with all of you. I'm going to put my information in the chat if in case any of you want to get a hold of me. Again, my name is Mary Rhodes. I'm the president for the Guam Hotel and Restaurant Association. I'm really grateful for this opportunity to expand the network. And I mentioned to Jürgen that I'm also the president for the Skull Club of Guam. I've been president for Skull Club for 5 years. And then also I'm a past president for our Rotary, one of our Rotary clubs, and I'm actually a past assistant governor that used to report to Japan and was in charge of Guam all the way to the Republic of Palau. So we have 9 islands that are part of that region. So, we're a small island with very short stature, but really large personalities and people who try to do a lot. So I want to thank you again.
That'd be great. That would be a great tagline: a small island with a big personality.
Yes, that's where our hospitality comes from, right? So for those who don't really know about Guam, again, we are U.S. citizens. We're part of the U.S., but a lot of our history comes from Spain, right? Spaniards really conquered us for several hundreds of years, similar to the Philippines. And so a lot of our last names are very Spanish oriented, and our culture, language, food are very, very similar. But Guam has a unique identity considering the fact it's part of Melanesia, Polynesia, and so we have our own language. We're known as Chamorros. Chamorros are people who are native to the island. And then you're Guamanian if you just happen to be living on the island, if you're statesider or any other foreign national. But Chamorros are both the names of our people as well as our language.
And we will have a session on Guam, welcoming you to WTN hopefully very soon. And
Sure.
Also all your information will be on the WTN website. We're going to put your profile up for those that don't see the chat. And really quick, before we go to Elaine, because Elaine is also quite late, and I will explain this, it's going from one island to another. I wanted to introduce our co-founder and my co-host at all the events, Dr. Peter Carlo, who's joining us from College Station, Texas. Peter, just 1 minute. If you could.
I'm sorry I was a little bit late. I was on the phone with Mozambique. And so unfortunately, international telephone calls come when they come. But Mary, congratulations. Congratulations to all our winners. I see lots of people here who have become friends over the years. And one of the nice things about the World Tourism Network is this is a good way for all of us to stay in touch and become friends wherever we are in the world. So it doesn't matter if you're in Nepal, or if you're in Serbia or Hawaii, or wherever you are, you know what? We're all part of one big tourism family. So I'm not going to take up too much time right now because I think we have lots of stuff we want to do. But thank you, Thomas, for some of you know him as Jürgen. Those of us who are his friends for a long time know him as Thomas.
No, thank you very much. Oh, someone is sharing. Let's stop the sharing for right now because we. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know. Let's see. Shares.
There we go. Okay.
Okay. Now let's go from Guam to another island. And actually, I met Elaine in Guam at a PATA event, so he has been to Guam before. And Elaine is from another sister island, what is even further away in the Indian Ocean. And that's the Republic of the Seychelles. Has also about 100,000 people. And he has been the Minister of Tourism before he became a mover and shaker, was running for Secretary General of the UNWTO, was running for president in his country. So he is really someone who is part of this global tourism industry. And it's almost 11 in the evening. And I know you have a World Tourism celebration early in the morning, your time. So thanks for being part of this session, Elaine. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Jürgen. It's really, again, I need to congratulate you. As my friend Walter said earlier, congratulate you and Maricar for hosting this event tonight and bringing us all together again. Happy World Tourism Day. It's important that we say it. And the key word in there is tourism. And if we are today with WTN, the World Tourism Network, again, the key word is tourism. So we need to find tourism and make tourism work. I think when Walter Memzabi was talking earlier, he spoke about this lack of us being able to move forward, to look beyond the pandemic. Today, we are all fighting our little battles. We all look for the third injection now of this COVID, the booster shot. And to have the booster shot, you realize that the two that you've had before, the performance is dropping fast. So you need 2 more. And we'll keep going this way until a solution is found. But as we're waiting for this, we have these red zones, orange zones, all different categories of people that have been singled out in different groups. And this is something. It is happening because we don't have a voice. And if the world of tourism today And I'm happy that WTN, the World Tourism Network, or the African Tourism Board, are moving as bodies to rally us together. We lack a voice. When there is no voice, stronger partners can do what they want, when they want. We will need to be able to work together. And if everyone on this platform today agreed that Deepak, agreed like Ms. Rhodes from Guam, well, they only work half a day there, they don't work full days. If you all got together, if you all make that effort to say that we will support each other, we will be part of each other, we will agree, even to disagree sometimes, but that the key areas where a continent, a country, a people are suffering, that we must be able to echo the words of support and the words that says, let tourism work. We must never underestimate the value of tourism. For Seychelles, it is very high, obviously, because we have very little industries apart from fishing, big game fishing and commercial fishing, because we sit in the middle of the Indian Ocean. But tourism is the key industry for Seychelles, which is why when I delivered my address in Guam, it was primarily to see the connections that was possible between Seychelles and Guam. But it is important for us to appreciate that tourism is the one industry that can still put money in the pockets of every inhabitant of the country. Because we can have small industries, big industries, individuals targeting tourists to be able to make a living out of. And the more we work through WTN, or the African Tourism Board, of which I am also involved, the more we work together, the more we will make the success of this revival of tourism. Today, well, just now it'll be World Tourism Day. And if it is World Tourism Day, we know that we will be celebrating catchphrases that have been echoed and put on the table for us to look at. But how does it change our lives? How does it make our tourism industry better? How does it really impact on the revival of tourism and ensuring that there is a light at the end of the tunnel? We must work together. And I want again, Jorgen, yes, we've been friends for many, many years, but again to tell you, we appreciate what you do. We appreciate it because you've given a voice to everybody to come together and work together. If there is that solidifying or togetherness approach, it is what is happening today. Have a good Tourism Day, everybody, and let us stay connected and let us keep on working together. Thank you very much.
No, thank you so much, Alain. And if before you go, let me introduce, and also I forgot to mention, and of course, Alain is the president of the African Tourism Board. What is very important, as you know, I'm also involved in the African Tourism Board because really Alain, Peter, Cuthbert and myself, we started the African Tourism Board in 2018, and it became so natural that I forgot to mention this. And we have a gentleman who is also an ambassador for the African Tourism Board, and he's a hero. His name is Mohamed Vanzou. He is, I'm sorry if I pronounce your last name wrong. He's joining us from Dakar, Senegal. And if it's okay, Alain, he speaks French, so maybe you can just watch out. And everyone knows in the Seychelles, French and English are equally official languages, and Alain is fluent in both. So maybe you could assist if it's necessary. And Mohamed, maybe we're running a little bit out of time, and we have many more people to speak. So maybe just a short remark, but we really welcome you in Senegal to be part of this event. And for those of you who don't know where Senegal is, it's in West Africa. Beautiful. I've been to the Club Aldiana. I don't know if it's still there. It was in the 80s. And it's a wonderful place to vacation, tropical climate, white sandy beaches, good food. And Senegal is definitely a place to travel once we can all travel again. But Mohamed, thank you so much for joining us. And if you prefer to say it in French, we got a former Minister of Tourism who can help you, and the President of the African Tourism Board who can now help you to translate.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jürgen having this nice speech. Hello, everybody. Very happy to meet again our former minister, Mr. Alain from Seychelles, and all these ambassadors and heroes and actors of the tourism. I already shared my speech with Jürgen and everyone here. So what I'm going to do is just to highlight the topics of what was in my speech. It is necessary for Africans to understand that tourism is not something we have to take abroad. We have to make our own basis, our own tools, and our own mind and idea to construct African tourism. And therefore, as the former minister, Mr. Alain said, tourism is one of the most important activity in the world. And we have to work together as a chain to bring each other to put his to bring his input and to make his understanding to improve tourism. What I'm focusing today is the partnership, is the climate change, is the private sector activity, which is the main important activity in the tourism sector. There are some countries which deal with tourism as an actor, but there are some countries, they just push the private sector to be the lead and to make the economic activity. So the most important now, what we learned about COVID is we sometimes forget to develop our own tourism inside our borders. So African countries have to give hand each other and to work strongly to make connectivity very easy, to share the kind of housing. We don't have to look what Europe is giving, like housing, like meat, everything. No, this is not what the tourist is looking for, because when you have your own food at home, you have your own accommodation at home, you have your own habitats, you have all what you need in your country. I think if you leave your country for a holiday, if you leave your country to make a discovery, you need to see something else. You need to eat something else. As Mr. Jorgen said, now I'm very happy to hear that we have a very fantastic and good food, and we have many things to visit in Senegal and other countries. Also, all Africa is beautiful, and we have to address a strong speech to the ministers and to the presidents of the Republic of each African country in order to let them improve their politics, to give more consideration and more importance to the tourism activities, because millions of people are working in tourism, and tourism is very benefit for the territory. Tourism is benefit for the economy. So once we work around in an agreement that make all Africans to share together, to have one policy, because the problem with Africa is each country wants to move alone. This is impossible. They have to give hands together. They have to make their own policy, to work together, to put energy together, and find what they have, like cultural, they have in patrimony, what they have in history, what they have in the desert, and then work together. If we don't have connectivity, we won't also succeed. But the most difficult problem is the climate change. African people, they are not aware that climate change can be something very important in succeed in the politics of tourism. If you fail on giving good strategy, good understanding on the climate change, you never succeed, the tourism plan and the economic plan. This is something very important. Also, looking, as I said, the type of housing, the type of accommodation, how people move through the cars, how people welcome the tourists, everything is important. So, as I already sent my speech in English and in French, I was just giving some topics regarding security, regarding connectivity, regarding general politics for all African people. Also having, this what they call, Mr. Alain, la sûreté et la sécurité pour une bonne circulation des personnes et des biens. Mais au-delà, il faut également une politique harmonisée avec une législation qui permet à chaque pays de pouvoir intégrer l'aspect politique, l'aspect géographique des autres contrées pour permettre justement une visibilité et une cohérence dans les politiques générales. Voilà.
He said that we needed an harmonized system through government, through legislation, to ensure that when we provide safety and security for the country, with good safety and security, we will also have good visibility, and that will secure the tourism industry of the country.
No, thank you very much. And before we move on, and I want to go to the Balkan, because we have 3 of our 4 heroes here from the Balkan region. I wanted to give the floor to a very good friend, and he is probably the heroes in the travel industry, Dr. Taleb Rifai, and I'm not sure if he's joining us today from Spain or from Amman, but he is from Amman, Jordan. And for those that we have so many new people here today watching on Etobo News, and he was the former Secretary General of the World Tourism Organization, known as UNWTO. Actually, he served 2 terms and is involved in so many issues in regards to tourism. And we really should call him Mr. Tourism. And it's my privilege to have Taleb joining us. Welcome, Taleb. And he definitely, he was one of our the first hero we had, actually.
Thank you so much, Jürgen. This is undeserved praise for me, really. I want to welcome everybody here. I feel very humbled being among this fine group of people. Now, tourism has come a long way. It has become now a way of life. It's a human right to me. It's a right for people to travel from one place to another. COVID has come to uncover many of our weaknesses in tourism. But now we can recoup and we can strengthen ourselves again. I'm not going to speak much here, but I would just want to say I'm very happy to be part of WTN. I'm very, very happy to be part of Jürgen's family, because Jürgen is a good man. Believe me, he is. For those of you that don't know him well, he's a good man. Now, that's all that I want to say at this point in time. I'm ready to answer any question, and I'll be with you for the rest of this session. Thank you so much, Peter.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Taleb. Much privilege. So let's go to the Balkan. The Balkan has been a very important region for us because it was one of our first chapter we put together and regional group in the Balkan. And we also have the head of our high-level discussion group and the head of our educational group from Serbia. And I wanted to just maybe give the first the floor to Alexandra. And Alexandra has been with us also from the very first moment. And I think she was in the process of stepping up in her career and succeeded. And we're very proud to have her in the position she is in Montenegro right now. And I think there is a lot of things people don't know about the Balkan region. It's one of the most progressive region in tourism in Europe. And then, of course, we have Professor Claudiana Goshia from Albania. And many of you don't know much about Albania. So maybe between the three of you, let's start with Alexandra. We go to Claudiana and then go to Professor Nissana, and I call her Professor Snow White. It's so much easier. She told me I can call her that. But Alexandra, go ahead.
Okay, good evening.
Hi,
good
Alexandra.
morning to everybody. Hello,
Hi,
Dr.
Alexandra.
Talent. Hello to everybody. First of all, I'm very glad to see you all. It has been a while since I was not meeting you guys, but I've been in touch with Jürgen, and he actually knows how busy I was lately. I was really trying hard to deal with the Montenegrin tourism and to help it recover. And I think we managed. I would also like to say that I'm very privileged. I was privileged actually last year, and I'm even more privileged this year that I'm here with you. On 27th of September last year, on the World Tourism Day, I was awarded as one of 16 tourism heroes, and I'm honored, thankful, and very happy for that great recognition. I'm convinced that without WTN, we wouldn't be able to go through these difficult times, and I think WTN, Jürgen, and all of you really helped us a lot, because we all did a bit as individuals, but as a team, actually, as a group, we did a lot for recovering tourism recovery. I would just say in a sentence or two that, as I mentioned, Montenegro really made it through last year. We had a terrible season. It was season of tourism ghosts, and this year we have recovered our tourism industry, and we have figures up to 85% comparing to 2019. So as I said, we made it through, and I'm happy. And if anybody wants to get some kind of opinions or suggestions, everybody can feel free to contact me anytime. Thank you so much. Thank you, Jürgen, for bringing us together. And we have to move forward, but we have to do it together, definitely, because that's the way we can make it. Thank you.
Thank you, Alexandra.
Point that everybody knows how hard you work and how much effort you have put into helping tourism, not only in your own country, but through much of the Balkan region.
Thank you, Peter. I would just
Montenegro is a wonderful place.
Thank you.
Montenegro is a wonderful country.
It is, and I can say that never ever in my life I worked this hard. So I'm working like 15 hours a day, and it's a bit too much. And I think it was worth it.
Nowadays, it's good to work. It's good to work nowadays.
Yes, it is true.
But you look good. You look good, Alexandra. You always look refreshed, and you got to share the secret. But
I just have maybe too much makeup on, so that's fine. Thank you.
Okay, you're fine. Okay,
I think we have some feedback in some microphone. There's some devices that are.
Yes, I just stopped it. Yeah, I think. Thank you very much. And I'm not trying to overgo Maricar, because Maricar was so nice and put all of this together today. So we're not ignoring her. But on my screen, I see all the people who are joining us immediately. So I'll go through it now. We're going to get back to Maricar because she has some important issues to add to it. But let's just give all the ambassadors, or all the heroes, better to say, also a chance to say a few words. And there I wanted to go to Professor Claudiana Garcia. She's joining us from Albania and recently was awarded the title of our tourism hero. And we're very privileged to have Professor join us today. And you're fairly new to this organization. So tell us a little bit who you are and welcome.
Hello, everybody. Good evening from Albania. As Taleb said, it's the time to start this. It's a good time to start to work on resilience of tourism. And thank you to Alain and Peter for their inspiration words related to tourism. My name is Claudiana Gorica from Albania. I work as an international expert, especially with UN WTO. I have made the first experience in 2017, the first international conference on sustainable tourism, because it was the right year when UN WTO worked on finding the ways how to achieve and to create a sustainable tourism through sustainable development through tourism.
That's right.
And it was a wonderful year. I would like to be each year of sustainable tourism or related tourism. Also, I am professor in University of Tirana. From 25 years, I teach tourism. In all leadership's role, have been involved always in tourism, but meanwhile, I'm working also in the creating network. So my surname is also networking in tourism. This is the reason why I think and I believe in what Peter and Alain say, that the best way to create a better world is through tourism. And one of the main pillars is finding the right, efficient, and more innovative networks like World Tourism Network is, which I congratulate a lot, Jürgen. Also, I am a CEO of Institute of Sustainable Development, Environment, and Tourism in Albania. So I have done a lot, and I'm working a lot in creating the best public-private partnership in, let's say, in the national level, because I believe that making an efficient network is a good way to work together in international focus, and creating a public-private partnership between public level and academics and all national level is a very good way to find the models to create sustainable tourism, which is based on the co-creation value together with the community and the tourists and the community-based approach. So let's keep together. Let's keep working together. I am sure that me, Alexandra, Nissana, and we are working a lot, and we still will keep each other working still a lot and make a lot of efforts to create an open tourism, like our Prime Minister in Albania said, open Balkan, but we have to work in creating an open tourism Balkan, and to work all together to put our efficient network for a better world. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Let's go to Professor Nissana, and she has been with us also from the very beginning. She chairs our educational interest group, and a high-level interest group we're putting together for the Balkan region. And she just got back from vacation, so she looks all relaxed and ready to do great things again. Welcome, professors.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon to everyone from Serbia. Really, I was relaxed because I have been on a wonderful holiday in Montenegro. And I can tell you that Serbian people are very big and very good travelers. We like to travel a lot. And two very important destinations for Serbian tourists this year were Montenegro, Albania, Greece. Greece was on the first place. Serbia is a continental country. And because of that, we like to go to countries which have a sea, and because we mostly were traveling around. I can tell you that Serbia in all this, in 2020 and 2021, suffered, the tourism of Serbia suffered like everywhere in the world. But as you know, we had vaccines from the very beginning. And because of that, Serbia was open all the time. The frontiers were open all the time. And because of that, we have, in 2020, we increased domestic tourism a lot. From the September, October last year, and especially this year, we have a lot of foreign tourists. And someone say, I think from Guam, they said they are having a weekend vaccination. In Serbia, we donate a lot of vaccines to the region, to the Balkan region, and foreigners can vaccinate in Serbia. And because of that, we have a lot of foreign tourists. In Belgrade, for example, there are a lot of foreign tourists, not only from Europe, but also from Asia, from Africa, from United States as well. People, which is very interesting, people are coming to vaccinate, and then they stay 3 weeks after the second dose, and then they stay for months. And some of them even are buying properties in Serbia, which is very interesting. And I think that we have to see this, what is going on. I'm doing that research because I'm very interested in that. What is the most important for us? It is really World Tourism Network, which gave us opportunity to join together, especially in 2020 and 21 and 22 and further on, and to join together, to work together. And as someone said, tourism will come back. Tourism is coming back, not very fast, but it is coming back. And because of that, it is very important. As it is in Serbia, tomorrow is 27th in this part of Europe, 27th of September, the Tourism World Day. But we started celebrating tourism in Belgrade yesterday in the evening with the Bohemian evening in the Bohemian part of the city. Today we have an excellent event on the river Sava in island, peninsula actually, which is called Ada Cigani, and we will continue tomorrow. And it is very interesting what our Ministry of Tourism did. They opened about more than 100 different cultural institutions today and tomorrow, free of charge for all people who like to visit museums, archaeological sites, and many other cultural historical monuments. They are all free today, tomorrow, according to the World Tourism Day. And some of them will be open not only September, but also whole month in October, which is very important. And I think that we have to work together, all of us. Thank you, Jürgen, very much to give us this opportunity, because I'm doing the research about necessity of education in tourism. You got a special invitation from World Travel Network to fill the questionnaire. We got more than 500 answers about necessity of education from all over the world, from our members. And if someone didn't answer, please do, if you can find it in your mail. And I think that we will have very interesting information. What kind of education do we need to rebuild travel in the world? Because answers are from all the continents, and now we are doing this research to show what do we need. As Gorica said before, and Alexandra, here on the Balkan, we, how can I say, we opened the frontiers, and because of that, tourism is booming once again. people are traveling around the Balkan Peninsula, and I think that it is going to be the same in the world, but this COVID-19 is going up and down, and we have to think what to do together. So that's for now, because I know there are so many other people who would like to say something. Thank you very much, and happy World Tourism Day to all.
Thank you very much, Professor. Yes, we're going to stay in Europe. We have 2 more participants in Europe, then we're going to Azerbaijan, to Jamaica. So we're trying to get everyone included. Let's go to Michel Nahon. He's joining us from Paris, France. And I heard he sent me a message. He just got off a delayed plane, and thank you very much for joining us that late after you, I don't know where you went to, but you must be tired. And I see you have, this almost looks like our lifeguard signs here in Hawaii in the back. And welcome, Michel. Tell
Hi,
us
Michel.
just a little bit who you are and so forth. You have to unmute yourself, please. It's on your computer. There we go. Now we can hear.
Yeah, hi, hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night to everybody. Thanks for all people still alive and not sleeping yet, specifically in the eastern part of my world. Hello to everyone from Paris. I noticed something which is very important. I'd like to point and emphasize this. Maricar said, must be inclusive growth for the world. And we have, all of us, the necessity to understand that tourism must speak one word, one voice altogether. There is no my country, there is no my business, there is no my hotel, my company, my airline. No, one word, and inclusive growth. Stop the real hero now is someone who has kept on working on tourism, even if for the last 18 months, it didn't get one client, it didn't get one contract, it didn't get 1 cent from any government, and he is the real hero. We are all willing to be heroes, but for the moment, the real heroes are all these people that have sustained their company, that have sustained their activity, and keep on believing that we must come together. And for this, we need to have one word, one voice, regardless of who we are and what we do and what is specific and special in our company, in our country, in the way we commercialize, in the way we produce. This is of no interest today. The most important thing is how can we speak all together? There are so many associations, so many groups, so many institutions in our business. There was a World for Travel last week in Evora. Okay, there were, I don't know how many people, but are they really speaking for the whole world? I don't think so. Who in the world is aware of what the United Nations World Travel Organization is doing? Who is really aware? I mean, the guide who is at the end of the world, has he any information of what is done, what is kept, what is decided? No, we have to speak one word, one voice. Inclusive growth. This is the key solution. And okay, I'm not going to speak about my business and why I'd like to change things and probably bring a new innovative solutions for not only for the flows of financial that we can discuss another day. Today is World Tourism Day. Is not my day, and I don't want to emphasize more about this, but I think that sustainability in the tourism, that caritative and philanthropy as a word to say in tourism as well, and it has to be differently organized and not only my business, my company, my way of doing. It has to be understood by everyone with only one voice. Thank you everyone for sharing my thoughts, and hopefully one day we can have better time. And once again, Maricar, you did and said the right words: inclusive growth.
No, thank you so much, Michel.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's go to my friend, and we have another event with him. So he probably, hopefully, Jeffrey, you don't need very long because we're still trying to get a few people. But I'm not trying to cut you off here before you even start. But he's a genius when it comes to climate change. He lives and breathes climate change and protecting our world. We're going to have some big announcements coming up. And his event is, I believe, on Tuesdays. You can register at worldtourismevents.com. It's all about Jeffrey and what he's doing. But welcome, Jeffrey. And thanks for staying up. He's in Brussels, Belgium.
Hey, thank you, Thomas. How are you?
Good, good, good.
Yeah, and it's nice to see so many friends here. Alain, Taleb,
Good.
Walter. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you.
That's quite a nice painting you have behind you, Taleb. Did you do that yourself?
It's from Angola. It's from Angola.
It's magnificent. Anyhow, you're right. It's first of all, I want to wish everybody a good, happy World Tourism Day. We need a little bit of happiness in our lives. And I also want to be like that Roman senator who every time he spoke said, Carthage must be destroyed. We do have an event tomorrow with Thomas, with what was the International Coalition of Tourism Partners that he and I have been sort of managing for a number of years, and we're going to give it a major relift and turn it into the International Climate and Tourism Partners, and we want it to be a campaigning organization which is going to help to push things further, faster. There is some movement happening in the travel and tourism world. There's been a major coalition coming together for Glasgow. It's another declaration like the ones we had before with Francesco Frangeli in Djerba and Taleb, you and I and Francesco in Davos, if you remember it well. And now there's a Glasgow declaration. And the Glasgow declaration is basically saying that we have to become net carbon neutral by 2050. And we believe, I certainly believe, the science is telling us, and the events on the ground are telling us, the terrible weather events, and weather is tourism's biggest central pillar, really. It's been the predictable weather which has helped to build the tourism patterns over the years. And we think that 2050 is miles too late. We have to be becoming net carbon neutral by 2030, and we have to be out of the greenhouse gas and fossil fuel game by 2050. And I believe that the world's governments will increasingly move in this direction, even if they're not there at the moment. And we kind of would like to, with ICTP, help to push the travel and tourism sector. They're in the leadership of where the change has got to be. And I'll be honest with you, you know, this is the twilight of my life. I'm not going to be around for a lot longer, but most of us on this call have kids, and our kids are telling us you have to do more. And that's why I'm doing it. I'm doing it because I think it might just make the world a little bit better for our kids. Climate change is the biggest issue on everybody's agenda, despite all the other important issues, because that's the one that can pretty much put an end to everything any of us have known. And you can see it's happening around the world with floods where there have never been floods before. This is the hottest year in living memory. If we keep on the current track, we're going to bust through the 1.5, according to the WMO, the World Meteorological Organization. We're going to bust through the 1.5 by 2025. And after that, it's just more heat, more floods, more melting ice caps, and all those things which are going to produce chaos for the world. But at the front, it's going to be travel and tourism, which is going to be one of the biggest sufferers. So that's not such a happy message, but I do wish you a happy World Tourism Day. And please come to our event tomorrow for the new ICTP. Thank you, Thomas.
Thank you very much, Jeffrey. Let's go to Efson Amadov, and I probably pronounced this wrong, my apology, but he's joining us from Baku in Azerbaijan. And first I have to ask him, he was on an event and it's archived, you can watch it. And he had a hard time, a little bit of a hard time speaking and breathing because he was going through some heights in COVID. So I'm very happy to see you. You look healthy. How do you feel, Efsun? And he's one of our heroes.
Very good.
Please unmute yourself, Efsun. There we go.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Mr. Smith. Yes, you're right. It was very hard. But first of all, I would like to say, when you are looking to the time zones, then you can understand we live in an amazing world where we can communicate with the past or the future, because someone is in the morning, someone is in the evening, and someone is having a completely new day. Therefore, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody, and happy World Tourism Day. My name is Efsun Ahmadov. I'm from Azerbaijan, Baku. I'm director of company which providing services on events, tourism, and transportation management, and I'm also a SCAL member. Yeah, you're right. In August, I contracted the coronavirus and therefore experienced the full severity of this disease. I'm finally cured of the coronavirus, but I'll tell you, it was very difficult. It was very hard for me, despite the fact that sometimes I has passed the headaches and the fatigue still have not disappeared. But anyway, I am full of strength and to work, and I'm ready to overcome new heights. As in all other countries, this year and a half in Azerbaijan was also very difficult for the tourism sector. The country was closed, internal traffic stopped, hotels, restaurants closed, and because of this, many travel companies in our country simply closed and to exist. Other ones are only now beginning to more or less recover. But I will not talk much about the problems in the field of tourism, because at this conference I see a lot of specialists who have experience in the field of tourism much more than my age, and despite this, they look much younger than me. I am very pleased that in these difficult times when the whole world is fighting the COVID-19 pandemic, someone notices and evaluates our activities. Despite the fact that according to indicators, Azerbaijan is not in a critical zone, nevertheless, even the death of one life is already a tragedy. The tourism industry of Azerbaijan also helped in every possible way in the fight against the pandemic. I want to express my deep gratitude to all the management and all the World Tourism Network employees, all organizers of this conference, for the attention and trust shown to us and for choosing me as a tourism hero. This is a great honor for me because I can represent my country on this grandiose platform in this way. And just a little information since 1st October, we have almost completely restored all work, studies in all educational institutes. Public transport will start working on weekends. So I think it's all what I can tell for now. If we'll have a time after, I would like to talk about Azerbaijan also. I think someone doesn't know about Azerbaijan well.
Yeah, and we're going to have an event about Azerbaijan we're putting together so you can learn everything about it. Just a few seconds, if that's okay, because he also waited from the very beginning. He actually is the first member because he was in Berlin when we started Rebuilding.Travel back in March of 2020. And he is a mover and shaker in Israel. His name is Dov Kalman. Dov, thanks for staying up late. It's 10:23 in the evening where you are. So I thought I'm going to get you before we go to the Caribbean.
That's so kind of you, Jürgen. Thank you very much.
Happy holidays, Dov.
Thank you. Same to you. Chag Sameach. It's great.
Jürgen is learning all about Jewish holidays.
It's a wonderful.
Happy holiday, Dov. Happy holiday, Dov.
I would like to say, yes, of course, these are dark days. These are tough days, but they are also days of a unique opportunity, I think. For people in tourism like me for, decades, this is an opportunity for change and reassessment of priorities and practice of the tourism industry. And being a voice of tourism destinations here in Israel, we represent many destinations. For us, it's a tremendous change of understanding that tourism is not about quantity, it's about quality. It's how to prevent the negative aspects of over-tourism, of minimizing the negative impact of pollution and waste and abuse of wildlife, neglect of the needs of the local population. It is changing the mindset of what all of us as leaders of this industry, as dreamers, as pioneers, of what we actually are supposed to do, and change that vision of darkness and create a better tourism industry. It's putting the emphasis on authentic experience and on carbon compensation and on changing the way that we look at the tourism industry. That is what this whole conference is all about, and that is what I think this marvelous day of the Happy World Tourism Day is all about. So thank you so much. I'm really delighted being part of this wonderful group. Thank you so much.
No, thank you very much. And I like, before we go to Jamaica, and Jamaica is the closest to a decent time zone, let's go to Joseph Kafunda in Namibia. And Joseph is one of our heroes, just recently appointed. Tell us a little bit more, and welcome for staying up that late, Joseph. It's 9:30 in the evening where you are, same as Talib in Spain, I believe. Or and it's a pleasure having you here, Kafunda.
It is right. Thank you, Jagan. Thank you, Jagan. Thank you, everybody. My name is Joseph. I'm currently still in Botswana, Jagan, as per our last conversation.
Okay.
So, I haven't get back to Namibia yet, but definitely tomorrow I'll be back home. I would like just to take this opportunity to say Happy World Tourism Day to everybody. And it's an amazing effort that WTN has been doing for the tourism in all. And I believe that we need to be resilient. We need to look at how we can be innovative on getting around the tourism, because this pandemic has not been that easy. But I see with what WTM has been doing, it's to motivate and keep people resilience through all these pandemics. So I'm really humbled and honored to be nominated and to be part and parcel of the Heroes meeting this evening. And I will be looking forward to more informations and sharing more informations. I thank you all. Happy Tourism Day to everyone.
Happy Tourism Day, Joseph. And let's go across the ocean to
Joseph.
the Caribbean.
Joseph, you're from Namibia. You're from Namibia, Joseph? Home is Namibia.
Yes, I'm from Namibia, Dr. Taleb.
Good.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So let's go across the ocean to the Caribbean. We have actually 3 heroes in the Caribbean, and Diana is one of them. Besides Diana, we have Mr. Gordon Butch Stewart, who unfortunately passed away. He was the founder and creator of the Sandals Resort in Jamaica. An absolute with a history and legacy you really want to read up if you don't know about it. Now we have the Honorable Edmund Bartlett, who's a real mover and shaker as a Minister of Tourism serving for Jamaica. He is unable to attend today. And then we have Diana Mcintyre. She has been, I think she's one of the most active person I know in tourism. She is involved in country-style tourism. She's an ambassador for the International Institute for Peace Through Tourism. She started her chapter there, and she's been a member for the World Tourism Network from the very beginning, and she's also a truly deserved hero. Thanks, Diana, for joining us. Please unmute yourself.
Well, it's a real pleasure to be here, Jürgen and everybody. I'd like to thank the World Tourism Network for giving us the opportunity to be more prominent by giving me the International Tourism Heroes Award, because from that happened, I have been having more attention internationally, and the pandemic period has given us more opportunities. You know, there are people complaining and saying, you know, they can't get ahead. And I'm going to tell you right now, we're getting ahead, because even our Minister of Tourism is beginning to pay more attention to what we're doing with community tourism. And I'd like to thank the International Institute for Peace Through Tourism, because I'm the Caribbean president, for having exposed our community tourism brand, which we created 45 years ago, to the world in 1994. And from then, you know, they recognized us as being the home of community tourism, and we have now embraced the Caribbean as the home of community tourism, which is good news. I just wanted to mention that the vision and mission that we have had over the years is really to transform local communities, inspiring inclusive, peaceful, caring, and enterprising clusters with neighborhoods for youth development and community economic well-being. In a nutshell, that's what we've been achieving. And we've been getting more attention because we have the Academy for Community Tourism, which is now in partnership with the University of the West Indies Open Campus. And we have a certified training for 5 days, virtually now as well, in entrepreneurship and hospitality. And we've included COVID protocols and security in there. So now there's something else that has happened, which is great news. We have Dr. Aliana Poon. I don't know if you've heard about her. She has Exceptional Caribbean Organization, and she has formed, with a network of us, an Open Caribbean Environmental Action Network. And this is great news for us, because we have many concerns about the environment in the Caribbean and in Jamaica. So that will now help us to move forward in a more positive way with some amazing people. And then we have the ComFund, which we have now registered in the United States. It's called Community Tourism Fund. And it's an investment fund that will have the interest available for community projects and businesses, low interest funding and also grant funding. So by early next year, we'll announce that officially, but I want you to know that we are planning to include that in all our vacations and tours, and the businesses that are on board will include it in their businesses too when they make sales. So we can move forward with the projects that we have identified, and we have a projects assessment committee that we are setting up that will look at the projects before it goes to the board, which is a diaspora-led board, because the diaspora wants to get very active, and this is the Caribbean diaspora. And we have a new organization that has come on board with us as a partner, Travel Jammy. It's developed by Caribbean and Caribbean Diaspora Talent, and it will be relaunched in October 21. And it's a combination of features and resources made to break through in mobile applications, travel and business marketing from the convenience of your phone. The Travel Jammy app gives our app users free access to an instant one-stop shop for Caribbean businesses, events, and more, connecting the Caribbean to the world. And I'm proud to tell you that we're now partners with that organization. We have accepted it because they share the passion that we have for the Caribbean, supporting entrepreneurship through community tourism. And that's going to give more opportunities to people. And I think that it's important to know that we intend to send to you, Jürgen, an invitation to get complimentary in there, so we can have what the World Tourism Network and what the other organizations are doing. And finally, I wanted to share a reaction from one of our visitors who came to visit us for the community lifestyle experience in Jamaica, in the Mandeville mountain area. It says here, Jamaican people are the most genuine souls I have found anywhere in the world. proud, sophisticated, and beautiful. For a first-time visitor, the good mightily outweighed the bad that we did not see. We found only a staggering, beautiful country and such hospitality that neither of us wanted to leave, and that has never happened before. Now, as far as I'm concerned, that was the greatest thing to have said. And the community that they went to and said that to, I made sure to share it with them, and that motivated them now just to keep doing what they're doing. So we have some challenges. Minister Bartlett has just announced that he's going to get closer to us, those of us who are working with communities. So I'm excited that we're going to have a very good future in Jamaica and the Caribbean, of course. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
And thank you, Diana. Now, I want to give the microphone and the attention back to Maricar, who's actually the host of this. It wasn't me, but I was looking at the heroes, so it's easier for me to look from the technical part. What I did, actually, Maricar was supposed to do. So I apologize. I didn't want to step all over you. I mean, we had very little time to practice because of some technical issues, time issues, and so forth. But Maricar is the mover and shaker behind it. And Maricar, maybe after you're finished, you can give it to Peter. I don't know if we overlooked any heroes. We certainly didn't once, but I have some of the participants not listed by name. So if any of the heroes are here, just raise your hand and I will share it with Maricar so we can definitely acknowledge you. But Maricar, my apology again, but the floor is now yours.
Never apology, Jürgen. My goodness gracious, this is an open conversation. So we are all hosts and, just exchanging. I think it's great. I've heard a lot of good insights and very inspiring to the thought leaders who are on this call. And that is what WTN has brought us, a vehicle for communication. And I really, just support it so much. So, and I feel that the real heroes, Jürgen, in my heart, the real heroes are those who have survived this pandemic without government help, without jobs for the past 18 months, who have survived, okay? I mean, for me, they are the real heroes. That is the definition of a hero. And I feel that award, we should award them, however invisible they are in our community, but they exist, they're there, out there. They may not have the voice to express, but I feel I want them to listen to that. I really applaud them for surviving and continuing to survive this pandemic. And it's getting harder, the deaths are increasing, and still we're all hanging in there. And that is really a strength that we cannot touch. We cannot touch with our hands. We cannot fathom that strength. Where is it coming from, that energy to continue to live? So they are my true heroes. But I want to thank everyone who has been on this call. It's really amazing what this 18 months has transformed our lives just through the virtual world. And I think that is the way forward right now, is for all of us to find our digital voice. And I am finding that slowly, that it is opening it up and we are coming into a very digital world. But I still hope to see you someday, maybe in a conference, in person, give you a hug, say hello, and see you face to face for that human connection. So,
Maricar, if I can just interrupt for 1 second. In this, we have a hero actually on board, and I didn't see her because her name didn't popped up as guest, but now when I clicked on it, it did pop up. So if you allow, before we get back to Maricar, let's go to Amaka. And I'm so sorry, I'm not even going to try to announce your last name, but you're joining us from Nigeria. I know it's late in Nigeria, and thanks for hanging in there. And she is with established the African Association of Women in Tourism and Hospitality. She is US and Nigeria based, so I don't know if you're in Nigeria right now, if you're in the US, you tell us, but we're really glad to have you on board. The floor is yours before we give it back to Maricar.
For having me. Thank you for this opportunity. I'm currently in Virginia, United States, but I do a lot of work in Africa, in Nigeria and other African countries. More of my work is empowering women in the hospitality and tourism industry. A lot of them don't really have that opportunity to advance themselves or develop themselves. So I push for gender equality, for opportunities in terms of trainings, job opportunities, career developments, encouraging them to attain leadership positions. Another thing I do back home in Africa is also celebrate excellence amongst our colleagues in the industry. A lot of them are not really appreciated in terms of the work they put in. There are a lot of people who are behind the scenes, not just the brands or the organizations. So I have an event that celebrates them every year. But basically, I'm more about women being given opportunities in leadership positions. But thank you for this award. Thank you for recognizing my work. And I hope to collaborate with a lot of people and do more for the industry. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, and back to Maricar.
Yes, I think there is also a hand raised, and which is good. May I call on Erwin from the Philippines? Erwin is a tourist guide, and he works with us at the World Federation. Erwin, could you unmute, please?
Hello.
Yes, go ahead. We can hear you.
Mabuhay, everyone. My name is Erwin Valenzuela, but in the industry, I'm better known as Tsunami. So everyone calls me Tsunami. That's my moniker. I'm a tourist guide by profession, and I'm also an area representative for the World Federation of Tour Guide Associations, where my assignment is Southeast Asia, including other countries like Hong Kong, Macau, and Taiwan. I have been a tourist guide for perhaps, I think it's 26 years. My first assignment was Pope John Paul II here in the Philippines. And ever since then, I became a tour guide. For me, safer tourism is a safer earth. And as a professional tourist guide, I'm a nature guide. I'm the few eco guides here in the country who practices safer tourism by sustainability and helping our earth to be helping our planet, and by promoting and advocating conservation, preservation of our planet. And I'm also the president of the Yes Club. I'm the founder of the Yes Club. It's the Youth for Ecotourism Society Club, wherein youths from different ages, from as young as 2 years old to as old as 102 years old, they are welcome to be a part of my club. And there's no fee for that. All you have to do is to plant a tree with Tsunami. So I promote tree planting. I promote river cleanups. I educate the youngsters. I help indigenous people. Well, if we would not help them, they would not earn their dignity. So by promoting advocacies like this, it gives them livelihood too. So I also do mangrove planting, and my canceled project was the propagation of fisheries, because right now there's no mass gathering here in the Philippines, and actually it's already 3:45 a.m. here.
Oh my God.
And an earthquake just happened 3 hours ago.
Wow.
It rocked. It was around 5.7. And up to now, we are experiencing aftershocks every 30 minutes from 3 to 5 intensities.
Wow.
But
hope you're safe. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, we're used to it. We are in the Pacific Belt of Fire, and we're used to it. It happens every day, but unlike Japan, it happens every second.
You are a tsunami yourself. You are a tsunami yourself.
Yeah. Actually, it's a call sign. I started my career as a mountain guide. I had many nature accreditations, from cave guide to river guide to kayak guide, sea kayak guide. And now tourist guides here in the Philippines are we don't have jobs today actually, but Filipinos are resilient, and through unity and by trust and being one, we are trying to hold on together. And vaccines are slowly coming in, but our destinations and ports are not yet open because we are suffering a series of surges. So it surges differs from one province to another, and we hope the tour guides can overcome this pandemic, and through resiliency and by helping each other, we could overcome this pandemic, and hopefully we will see each other again. And I thank Sir Jurgen for having me and inviting me here. And I also thank Miss Maricar and everyone. I hope that you all stay safe, and we are looking forward that one day we should rise again. Mabuhay.
Mabuhay.
Yeah, by the way, mabuhay means long live.
Yes. Unmute yourself, Jürgen, please. Unmute yourself.
I'm sorry. Mabuhay again, and we have our largest population here in Hawaii, as you know, are from Filipinos. So we have 2 Filipino channels, so we're very familiar what's going on in the Philippines. And I know it's 3 in the morning. Thank you so much. But I think Maricar is back. So back to you, Maricar. You please unmute yourself. Please unmute yourself.
Sorry, I just want, it was a pleasure being here, Jürgen. I have another call, but I just want to, applaud everyone for your presence, for your love, for your peace. And I leave you my peace for World Tourism Day. Let us find that peace in the world, and hope to see you on another call very, very soon.
Thank you very much. So let's thank you. So let's wrap this up before we give Peter the last word. There is another Peter who raised a hand from Tanzania. Peter, do you want to unmute yourself?
Yes, thank you so much. My name is Peter Mbado from Tanzania. I am a peace ambassador, and I promote peace through tourism, as well as promoting sustainable development goals, goal number 16. I would like to thank for being here, because what you are advocating is truly changing the world, changing the people's lives. My message today, I would like to say that we need inclusivity in this and push more forward agenda and policies to send a message to the global leaders that vaccinations it should not be a unilateral, it's a multilateral. You should promote and accept other countries as well that they've been vaccinated, to promote tourism. Last week I was in Arusha. I saw tour guides, they have been vaccinated and they are receiving so much tourists to send them to Ngorongoro, Serengeti, as well as I was in Kilimanjaro, at Kilimanjaro National Park. I saw tourists as well, and as well as in Itanga at Tambon Caves. So this is very wonderful, and we call upon all heroes to write message on Twitter, on LinkedIn, and also to write to the big nations that this should be not a unilateral, but a multilateral, to organize, to say, to speak with might voices that tourism should be not left behind, because it's the one which is changing people's lives. Thank you so much. And I wish you all the best.
Yeah, and thank you, Peter. You're so right in Tanzania. You're fortunate to be in Tanzania because I think you also have a tourism minister who understands the business, who's been very proactive. I know Cuthbert Nikubi.
Wonderful president also.
Well, yes, and Cuthbert Nikubi from the chairman of the African Tourism Board just returned from Tanzania, so there's a lot going on. Cuthbert also apologized himself. He's in Eswatini right now, and he has very little access to internet. As you know, the African Tourism Board is actually based in Eswatini, and he wasn't able to join us tonight. But since this is now almost double the time, but I think a lot of you must have enjoyed it because we still have a lot of people live, and we have a record number. I can tell everyone on our eTober News and social media platform. This is probably the largest we had at any event. So there's a lot of interest in World Tourism Day. So perhaps we can just go to Taleb and then Peter, Maricar, is there anything else you wanted to add? You already said, okay. I want to make sure I recognize you.
No, thank you. It's just that there is the UNWTO reception in Cote d'Ivoire. That is, I believe there's a hybrid event coming up tomorrow. Just wanted to let everybody know.
That's right. That's right. Thank you, Maricar.
Thank you.
Thank you for your being with us.
Okay.
Okay. I just want to go back to the Balkans, please. Jürgen, if you don't mind.
Sure.
I want to ask the lady from Albania. Is Eglantina still there? You know Eglantina? Tina.
Let's see. Are you still there? I cannot see you that quick. Let me just see.
Yes, I'm here.
You're here. Okay, perfect.
You know,
okay.
There's a lady minister in Albania called Eglantina. That's short for Tina.
The new Minister of Tourism is Mireia Kumbaro.
Okay,
After Eglantina has been very closely, he nominated me, and from 10 days we have a new Minister of Tourism. It's a woman. She is very related to the culture, and I think that she will be very concentrated to culture and tourism. Mireia Kumbaro.
Very good.
Thank you very much.
Wonderful country. Wonderful country.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Balkan
so is Serbia.
Wonderful.
So is
yes.
So is Serbia is a wonderful country too. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And Montenegro as well, of course. Of course. Okay. Jürgen, I don't have much to add to tonight. I just want to say I'm happy to be in this group of people. They're a wonderful group of people. And the world is facing a challenge. It won't be the same world again. We all know this. But the world is coming to a better conclusion. I'm sure about it. We won't go back to where we were. We will leap forward to a better future. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Taleb, for always being here. You've been at almost every event, and we really appreciate it. And you have been essential for this organization to grow. So let's close with Dr. Peter Carlo, our co-host, co-founder in Texas. Peter.
Yes, I want to close. I'm not going to take too much time because this has gone on for many hours, and this is the middle of the day or the middle of the night for so many people. So first of all, I want to thank everyone and congratulate all our heroes. But most importantly, I think we need to think on this World Tourism Day. Tourism is like a tree. It provides shade, nourishment. It's a tree composed of many leaves, and each one of us is a leaf on that, which creates the totality that we call life. And so tourism is truly a tree of life. On this Tourism Day, rather than take too much of your time, I'm just going to end with a very classical and ancient prayer that says, "Blessed art thou, Lord our God, who has kept us alive, who has sustained us through these difficult times and has brought us to this moment. Let us go on. Let us make tourism from strength to even greater strength, and from past successes to future creativity and success." I wish everyone a very happy International Tourism Day.
Thank you, Peter, and thank you everyone for attending. We're going to see each other soon, hopefully tomorrow at the ICTP event. Thank you, Nancy, also, and thank you for everyone we should have recognized, but we are out of time, and we're going to get to you. And if anyone wants to have and thinks you wanted to have your own event, just please contact me, and we'd be happy to do this like we did with Nancy not too long ago on the honeymoon group. I see Max is there from Germany. We just published an article on eTober News for him. It's on right now. And I see Burkhard, our good friend Burkhard Herbote in Germany. He's been with us many times. And so many more friends I have been on this group here. And it's really humbling to see all the support. And I can only say aloha from Hawaii, and hopefully we see each other soon. And by the way, just real quick, if you wanted to watch the archive on this, you can, as always, go to our YouTube channel. You go to youtube.com/travel news group, click on the link on any of our publications on WTN, or you can go to livestream.travel, and you'll be able to see this. Also, eTober News now has a 24-hour video news channel. This will be part of it. It's part of it right now as we speak. And I see we have a lot of people watching us there. We will repeat it along with other very interesting events. Like one was with Jens, who is also a hero. We recognized him a few days ago. He called yesterday and said he couldn't be part of it. And it would have been like 2 or 3 in the morning. So we have our gentleman in Malaysia, in other parts of the world where it's really too early to join us. So, but nevertheless, we really thank everyone who is here and who's not here, and who's a hero and who's not a hero. And we're going to continue this conversation. Good night.
Good night.
Bye. Bye-bye. Thank you.